Finding this program and this career field was really helpful for me because it allows me to continue to do the arts that I love in a stable environment that I crave.
I realized just how much you can do with education or theater in an education capacity at any age level. And I've really just grown to love working with youth and hearing their voices through the art that they create.
This being such a small program, I thought it was a great place to learn in community with other people.
Right now, I'm just exploring as much as I possibly can and dipping into all the different pools, which is such a great thing with the collection specifically. Just learning what we actually have available and how it can connect with me and the questions that I have and how I can use it moving forward.
One thing that I think is really important is representation, and that's something that I'm doing in my research here at ASU. And I'm interested in the difference between representation for adults versus representation for children. The things that I as an adult want to see in media could be totally different from the things that children want to see. Their version of representation is totally different than what I want to see in the world.
It's always important to listen to the community you're speaking in, hearing what they value, hearing what work might be important to them, and then creating based off of that.
The most exciting moments that I've had working with youth is when they discover something on their own and I'm just on the sidelines getting to witness their own power come forth.
They are human beings, not human becomings, and so we need to meet them where they are, and they deserve art for art's sake, but they also have big emotions that a lot of the time we discredit.
I talked with a colleague once, and he gave me an interesting perspective, which was when he was a kid, he wanted to grow up and be a dinosaur. So kids see things through a totally different lens, and maybe that's the idea of when I grow up, I can be whatever I want to be. That kind of representation is so important in youth theater today, and doing it from different lenses and different perspectives, not just race, gender, sexuality, socioeconomic status. It could be anything.
So I first heard about the collection a little bit my first year. I knew that we had a collection at ASU, but I hadn't really worked with it at all until the end of my first year.
I first heard about the collection at a meeting that we did. It was an area meeting for the TFYC program, and Kaylin came in and talked to us about what the collection was and what opportunities there were to work with it.
In order to create good theater, you have to see good theater and you have to see multiple ways of creating different things, everybody's tactics of how they do blocking or costuming or focusing on themes or helping with characterization, especially with youth, is different. So that's one thing that I really appreciate about the archive collection is I've been able to see all of these different ways to go about creating a production.
Something that I love about working with the collection is just opening a box and always finding something new. There's always something new to discover. Even in a document that you might have looked at 3 times, the third time you look at it, you're like, oh my gosh, this one line is so cool, and I think that's inspiring me to do something else.
My first experience with the archive was an assignment for a research for beginner, research methods class, and we were to make an appointment, pick a collection and come in and view it. And I ended up spending 4 hours viewing the collection that I chose.
I love viewing all of the slides, slides, you stick them in this little light up box, and it's just a surprise each time.
The collection's super helpful because we learn about these things in a lot of our classes, and then we get to come into the collection and make the actual physical connection with the pieces in the archive to what we're hearing about and reading about in our classes.
I think there's just so much to be inspired by in this collection. Each box that you open, there's something inspiring about it, and there's something that you could make art on literally anything that you open. There's so many things that you can look at in this collection and say, I want to do that thing, and this is exactly a guide on how you can research on how you can get it done.